intentions of going for a direct impact, a direct collision against OG, but finally OG, they make their step forward and they start dismantling, destroying Team Forever. It's all down to Flock, one last man alive. He patches himself up inside of the vehicle, but for how long can he stay alive? Once again, Aiku Soul looking for a third party. Aiku Soul, they have been the thieves in the night, just looking for to steal the elimination points away. And Flock from Team Forever is doing a great job keeping his position anonymous.
Oh, but he can be a spoiler, and as soon as I say that, the vehicle explosion got the better of him, but as Powers got the DBS in hand, he is a man who handles a lot of those players. But as of now, Rangutan, they're also being kept in check. They're not trying to push the issue because they've got a decent position in the circle, but they've still got to go in for a little bit of a reposition. Do not want to go close to the members of Aiku Soul.
OG, they have fallen back. I like this. It's a wise decision.
Oh my
Not
God.
trying to go for these ego plays. And Soul, they've got their own problems brewing up. CG as well from the side is now starting to take a lot of shots against him. And OG, they might just find the exact moment that they needed. Now they can definitely put a little bit of more pain and hurt on the players of Soul. Manya behind the buggy. OG at the top of that hill. For Team Soul, this will be an interesting fight. It will be a tough battle.
But I still want to look at Carnival Gaming and the team that's taking the entry from the east. Two of them, one is Blind, second is Entity. Both of them will be checked in. One by OG and the other one by Carnival itself. Now Trigger's attention will be taken away. Puka was taken down. Blind, this is a fight that they need to win.
Blind Esports.
Oh.
An invited guest in the party, but Adi gets caught from somewhere else. Oh no, that's not a good news. Blind, they came in with full force, but now they're just down to a three-man squad.
OG might be pinched. It's not a good position.
Oh, the nade sails in and finds Witchjawed. Two more players still up. It's down to AKOP and Trigger, and even Aiku Soul now they're starting to make some moves. You can see Ronnie inside of the vehicle going for the scout maneuvers. But OG on the verge of getting ripped apart. From the side it's Blind, from the front it's Soul. What can you exactly do? AKOP way too low as well, and eventually Skips makes the push. He makes the call, and he devours them both. Skips single-handedly just taking him down, ripping through them. But it's time for Aiku Soul to pounce on top of the opportunity and shut them down. But Blind, they're looking for to hit him back once again. It's the top four teams alive, and Soul is one of those, and they will wipe out Blind. Aiku Soul, today's day, they're starting things off in a fantastic note.
But the rivalry is now going to come into play. That nade could be disastrous. No, still just chips a little bit of a damage. The second one goes in way too far wide. Those buggies, no way. We still see Akshat getting one. Nakul has been taken down. Ronnie being finished. This seems to be a game for Carnival Gaming to start things off in a crazy fashion. But we are down to last two as Entity needs to be taken care of.
Entity, they still need to make it inside of the zone, and that's what they're doing. They're making it in. Slowly and steadily. Keeping their steps ahead. Omega in the front line. Somraj just barely making it inside of the zone. The nade's right next to him. He needs to hide behind the cover. The nade blows up. Somraj now chipped out. Troy just left outside of the blue. So many problems for Entity at the same time brewing up. And for Carnival Gaming, it's the victory march. Last man gets taken down by the zone, and it's Carnival Gaming to kick things off on a fantastic note. Who would have thought about this?
Not me, I'll be honest.
Strike down two players from OG. There's a chance the table turner can be served. And Blind Esports, if they do pull off this 2v4 for OG, this will be the mental breaker. And Blind Esports, they've already managed to knock down three players. It's all down to AKOP. This is such a big blunder from OG.
That is a horrible mistake, but Dark Lord has been taken down. AK in the meantime still has got time to try and patch himself up. He can go for the revival as well.
Omega with the third party unintentionally helps out OG. And now OG will have a chance to recover from that fight with three players. That is the best possible outcome you could ask for yourself.
But not the best indeed, because Team Forever want to take the piece of OG's cake as well. Flock could try and find the perfect timing. If he does, this could be it. Because OG need to make their way in the circle too, and they'll be sandwiched between two.
Revenue Esports. Fears. Just scouting out the crowd so far. OR Esports on the left lines. And Team Forever tossing out the utilities in the front. For Team Forever, this will be a path filled with a lot of thorn. And OG, they're going to spot out Team Forever in the open. It's time for OG to unleash the wrath and open the Hellgates against them. It's Hellfire raining down Team Forever. And what can they do then be crumbled down slowly and steadily? And unfortunately, Flock blows himself up. Another blunder to follow this up. And Team Forever on the verge of getting eliminated. It's all down to Mafia. He's just a couple of bullets away from getting taken down. Revenue Esports sets out in the open, but the maneuvers, the movement, it's perfect.
One of the most brilliant moves that I have seen. And the way he dodged bullets, he literally looked like John Wick for a moment in the Matrix. But man, oh man, this could be one of the biggest blunders of Orangutan out there. Ash, super low, will be flushed down. Aquanox takes him out. But he himself was down on his knees. This seems to be the best position for Entity because look at them. They're stopping OR from one side. They've got Gamla Boy to stop anyone from Remnant who might be pushing. Orangutan, yes, they've got that one small cliff in front of them, this just small ridge cover. But for how long would they be able to keep it? Because they've got to move ahead of it.
Oh my god, that nade was so close. Admino still somehow alive. He's eaten two of them. Entity Gaming, time to make a move. And that's what they're doing. Gamla Boy leading the pack. Samraj with the rest of the players. And Blaze, he blows his own teammate up. That's going to give the opener for the opponents. And you see OG instantly capitalizing on top of that. That's not good.
It's all down to Zap as well for the side of OR. Yes, Revenant, they've blown one of their own player up, but Fierce is there to try and gatekeep Troy. That one nade is going to do so much damage. Admino, he'll be flushed out, but still, there's Zap out in the open. He can ruin things up for AKOP. No, he wins the fight, and that's what you want to see from Orangutan. But Revenant as well, they've got one of the prime positions along with Entity.
They got the Fallen Man back up, and now Revenant Esports back in full force. An army ready to fight against the hordes of zombies. And Entity Gaming, they're the only biggest thorn in their way. That's the only horde they will be scared of. OG, AKOP all by himself. A one-man army. Remember yesterday, AKOP pulled off a 1v4 against Aiku Soul. He needs to repeat the same thing once again. There's another man in the back lines, but OG, AKOP is the man who leads the pack. He finds a 2K. AKOP once again. The man, the myth, the legend, a one-man army just closes the entire game for Entity Gaming. And Entity Gaming, they crumble down. AKOP, another knockdown into Fierce. And Revenue Esports, this might just be it. They want to take a fight against AKOP, but what? It will be Revenant to close things out. OG, that was way too close for comfort. Almost they could have won that, but Revenue Esports, they pulled things back one. Insane. Carnival Gaming just looking to take down Team Forever because right now they are the biggest competition Carnival Gaming has to face.
That is indeed true. Team Forever, they need to win this fight to try and get themselves solidified in those top spots in the leaderboard. But again, they're not even able to close in that gap because of the amount of utils that are being burned by Carnival. That is such a great use. This Molotov is going to push Omega even backwards from Team Forever. On the other side though, OR are now trying to take away the positioning that Global Esports had. Entity Gamla Boy though, he can play a massive spoiler. Akshat finds the first opening onto Omega of Team Forever. And this could potentially be an advantageous situation for CG.
Omega knocked out. 3 more players left alive for Team Forever. For Carnival Gaming, the same thing can be said, but at least the knocked man's going to be back upon his feet soon. Gamla Boy from the back. Entity Gaming looking to third party this scenario. Nate being tossed in the smoke. Oasis is still safe. For how long, that's the real question, but Hector catches Oasis. The bit threat neutralized can be a sigh of relief for Carnival Gaming. But Team Forever, once again, sticking that resurrection onto Ovace. But Gamla Boy from the back is not making any crucial move just yet. Wall of Death starting to move. Now Team Forever, they will be forced off that comfort zone. And that's what has exactly happened. Every single team will be in a big panic. If you're outside of the zone, you got to make it in as quick as possible.
Hydra as well trying to take their own entry, but they would be between Blind as well as God's Reign. That's not the best possible situation, and Team Forever has been taken down. The wall of death literally raining death onto them, and so will be the attempt of God's Reign. They'll be trying to take them down one after the other. They've got one of the best positionings as Hydra will be trying to take an uphill battle. Justin is down on his knees. The revival should come. No worries there. But this could potentially be a much-needed chicken for God's Reign, Necro.
Dark Lord knocked out. Justin crawling to safety. God's Reign. For them, they've got the high ground to play with, but can they actually capitalize and come through victorious? They're currently in the top 5 with a decent amount of finish points too. Fallen Man back upon his feet, but then instantly another nade sails in and gets the re-knock. Justin, he's just not finding any type of leeway. He's not finding any type of time off from this duty. Carnival Gaming Hector strikes down the last man from Blind Esports, so I guess for Blind Esports, their journey is done in this game.
Hydra, this is finding something on to not just one, but a couple of teams out there. Hector has been taken down, and that's a couple of players being knocked down for Carnival Gaming. That is problematic. Spurs will be taking some fire, but Starboy confirms the pick on Hector. Spurs blows himself out. That is so very bad.
God's Reign, they went for the rotation all the way down south. And this is some interesting stuff that God's Reign's trying to pull off. They took the advantage of two teams duking it out against each other, and they rotated down south from that hilltop. But Destro is still on top, and the only reason why Destro is there is because of intel and the cover fire Destro can give. Destro will need to rain down death and destruction on the team in the front in the name of Carnival Gaming, and these utilities, they need to find a little bit more of that mark. But unfortunately, God's Reign, they're crumbling down. They are still inside of the zone for Carnival Gaming. Oh, these nades are really starting to hurt. Hydra, Spray God can be a big spoiler in the sport, but Spray God is barely making it inside of the circle on the edge.
Jeez, look at Carnival Gaming. One nade's gonna do the trick for them. I don't think so. They've got a lot of smokes remaining, but as you mentioned about Destro, he's on a domination right now. 3 finishes already. It's only Spray God remaining, but this one fight between Carnival Gaming and God's Reign is going to show us who's going to be the winner of this game, and Carnival are not in a good position.
God's Reign, 3 players. Now looking to make that push happen. They have lost out in patience, and it's time to send it against the opponents. There's another man from Hydra. Nutshot is going for the fight against him. He's also getting pincered between God's Reign and Carnival Gaming themselves. And for God's Reign, this can be the exact opener they needed, and they have gotten it. It's time for them to recover and make the comebacks. And this will be a great start for the rebuild.
One of them.
But he needs to pop off the same way he did in the challenge season. Revenue Esports, they lose out on Equinox. Not a good news at all. Up close and personal, it's going to be Ninja Boy, but he gets strike down.
But not before he was able to deal some decent amount of damage to WSB. Zeref has been knocked down already, and you know how crucial he has been for the team to actually get the victory.
Revenue Esports Sensei OG is up close and personal against WSP. He gets picked apart, but then the focus is now going to shift on forward against iFlix. iFlix, for them, it's all down to the last man in the close contentions against WSP. Venom? Even Venom from the back lines try to pull off some shenanigans, but it's just not working out for him that well. And WSP will devour him too. Now it's going to be the march for victory. WSP, a long-awaited chicken dinner on the horizon. Will it come through or not? Or iFlix, will they put the nail in the coffin and secure this chicken dinner?
Yeah, they know the positioning of Anuj. They will be pushing. It's a 2v1. Can Anuj go for this clutch? That's the question. This is going to flush him out, and he will be out in the open.
Oh, it's done.
Only to be picked apart, and what a great game.
WSP, they had a chance to win that chicken dinner, but then iFlix comes in. Quite a lot of issues. Another man being eliminated, and finally Aiku Soul, they make a push happen against Revenant Esports. Nate's being tossed out, and it's Revenant to prevail in that fight, but no! Ronnie, he shuts down all the possibilities and takes over the Shack. Revenue Esports, even though they had the advantage in that fight, but then Ronnie pulls off an insane clutch.
That was such an outwardly performance, and what an uproar as well. Not just from the players of iQOO Seoul, but also from the audience, because this is a lifeline for them, and this could potentially be their game unless Team Forever, who are way down south, could take that entry point, because Global Esports, they've lost Mavi. They only have Ninja Boy remaining. There's still a couple of teams they need to be worried about. And iFlix is going to be one of them, directly on the northwestern part.
iQOO Seoul, now they've got a solid compound. As I mentioned, this late inside of the game, you got to know how to assert your dominance, and that's what Seoul have done. Asserting their dominance on top of the players of Revenue Esports, kicking them in the lobby, and taking over the good spot they had. And now it's time for them to slowly and steadily make their steps inside of the zone too, which will be tough. The only things that can back them up for now are the smoke grenades, and that's what they're doing. Using the smokes as a trail to make it inside of the zone. Ronnie's the one to lead the pack, Knuckle in the back, and S-Power creating an off angle. But Manya, he fights the opener against WSP. While Global Esports, they indulge in a fight against Team Forever. Mafia, Oasis, and Flock, 3 players in the front lines. Mavi all by himself in that shack. For how long he can keep himself safe. A nade sails in, and that's going to find the confirmation. Global Esports, they've been eliminated from the game. But then even Manya from iQOO Seoul, he's probably going to find the closure. So many fights happening at the same time.
And Team Forever facing the exact same problem yet again. Taking so much damage from the blue itself, but Team Seoul is the one who've lost Manya, who's down on his knees, but still 3 of them standing so very strong, and Ronnie is the one you need to be most worried about, as he is still not stopping.
Oh my God, what? Armand in the clothesline, iQOO Seoul, even they're sort of tumbling down. It's a 2v2 against iFlix. And Team Seoul, they can still get the resurrection back up on the fallen players. iFlix, they make the push happen. iFlix looking to get this back-to-back chicken dinner. Can they make it happen? It is definitely possible. They've got the man advantage. And it sells in. It's going to find Maverick. This entire moment's now starting to be back and forth. iQOO Seoul pulling this back in their court looks way too tough, as Ronnie in the back is trying his best to clutch it out for iQOO Seoul.
Yes, that is true, and it's down to a 1v3 situation now. Insidious was so far back, even I thought he was not in the game. And the revival is also going to come in. Madrak will get back on his feet. It's Ronnie in a 1v3. The crowd is roaring out in the wild, and now they're slowly pacing it down. Ronnie wants to try and get as much HP as possible, and in the meantime, iFlix will be preparing their members for the rush.
Ronnie has already clutched one scenario in the game of Vikendi itself, but this time he gets denied. iFlix, a back-to-back chicken dinner. And in the game of Sandhawk, in the game of Vikendi, they've got the chicken dinner too. That means 2 lakh rupees in the pocket. iFlix is the first team to make it happen. None of us would have thought this was coming.
Global Esports there, and also Hydra. They've been far away from all of those fights, but iFlix will be taking one after the other. The members of Global Esports, Crypto trying to move inside the smoke, maybe wanting to get a lucky knock as well, but Slug decides to join in the action, trying to move those vehicles away. It's not a stalemate, but still it's going to be so very messy as Ninja Boy gets taken down. He was finished off as well. This should be the time for iFlix to move away.
Team iFlix still alive in full force. All the 4 players up for life. Global Esports, Slug, his eye all by himself, and a great fight from Crypto. Through the smoke, spots out the player, shuts him down. Slug taken down, still 12 teams are alive inside of this game, and 34 players in total, and iFlix is one of those who's been dominating so far. Global Esports Beast, the only man up for Global Esports, and all he can do is play for the survival, and that's what he's trying to do. But iFlix, now they're catching a lot of hurt, and that's not a good news at all.
Rangutan being taken out as well. Ash was flushed out. Not the greatest of the games for them. However, Global Esports Beast, he finds a pick on one. Oh my God! That was so very close for comfort. Hydra official will be just trying to keep their own lives for the last 3 players, and that's going to be the flush coming in. Mooks from iFlix. I am potentially seeing a third chicken dinner in succession, Necro, for iFlix if they keep up their performance.
iFlix, as you mentioned, there's a chance a third one can be pulled out as well. A hat trick can be seen. Hydra officials, Spurs Show P just going for that constant pressure. But Team iFlix, the recovery is phenomenal.
True.
They're back once again on the feet. Yeah, it's a whole nother circumstance that the circle's moved away from them, but still the rotation's possible.
Oh my god, Kemin suffering a knock right away as they wanted to slam into RNT, but in the meantime, it's going to be Aiku Soul wrapping up the members of WSB. There were only a few of them remaining as we move backwards. Revenant, they'll be finding one on to Fury as well as Alto gets taken down. Venom is also on his feet, and it's all down to just Phantom, who'll be moving in those outskirts in the open. Maybe just a cover of that small ridge, that's about it. Long Nate, that's what he's gonna catch. 2 players with that, but he will finally be flushed out too. Jeez.
Team Forever, they can't see the players of iFlix, and also Team Soul right next to him. Before Team iFlix, they've got their own problems brewing up. iFlix, they're facing off against Team Soul, while Team Soul, there's a chance they can be sandwiched from the back by Team Forever, but Team Forever, they're not making any type of move just yet. IQ Soul, looking forward to shatter the hopes and dreams of getting a 3 consecutive games off Team iFlix. And Team IQ Soul, now just marching against the players. It's one last man alive from the side of iFlix, and that too is trying to keep himself anonymous, keep himself quiet. This game, it seems like it's written in the destiny for Team IQ Soul, but the only big thorn in the way can't be in the name of Revenant Esports.
Or maybe if in case Team Forever decide to play as a spoiler between both of these teams, but we've seen time and time again how teams first flush out the last few remnants, the glimmers of hope, but I really love the positioning from the side of Revenant, but IQ Soul, they look so very claustrophobic at this point. They've got no real estate with them. Well, on the side of Revenant, Blaze is out there in the open. Fierce up on top of that compound. Aquanox trying to take all the space up north. They've got so much information of this circle already. If they don't get a chicken from this point, I don't know how they will. And this should be a chicken dinner for Revenant.
The crowd is chanting for Soul. A lot of people just hoping that their fan favorite team will win, which is Soul. But there's still Revenant in the tracks. And Revenant's not going to make it that easy for Soul. And a great find for Blaze. And he's also chipping out so much damage against Soul. The smokes are just the markers exactly where the players of Revenant need to shoot. And they're finding the exact hit markers that needed to be found. And so far, the players of Soul, they're just falling down one after one. And it's Revenant Esports to seal the deal and come out on top. Second chicken dinner of the day for Revenant.
Absolutely phenomenal. And Necro, you need to remember I called it out. I mentioned that if in case the circle falls